Hi, I'm Natalie Ledwell. Now you may know me from my movies, The Inspiration Show, or from one of the seminars that I've spoken at. Now today in this video, I'm going to explain why affirmations and visualizations fail for 95% of people who use them, and what you can do to prevent this from happening to you. I'll talk about the missing key in changing limiting beliefs, so achieving extraordinary success is just the natural thing to do. And I'm also going to cover how lazy people can often make more money and lose weight faster than people who work hard, and how you can apply this to your own life right away to become an instant success. But before I get started, I'd like to announce that I'm actually holding some upcoming live webinar training sessions to teach you how to literally put your success on autopilot. It's going to be a lot of fun, and for the first time ever, I'm going to reveal my greatest secret weapons to success. The easy steps that you can take to push from where you are right now to where you've always desired to be, practically overnight. Now that might seem like a big statement when you consider that having the relationships, the body, the wealth that you truly want is just around the corner. But believe me when I say that what I share is so insanely powerful, it really does take all of the exhausting hard work out of the picture. Now, I've also invited a very special guest to join me, whose research and discoveries were snatched up by the Brazilian government. In fact, his classified brain optimization techniques were used to train their military to elite capabilities. Plus, as soon as you register, I'm also going to give you an incredible ebook valued at $67. Now, this incredible book draws on the expertise of 16 world-class authors and teachers who have each contributed to outstanding lessons on various topics like goal setting, manifesting money, creating a magnetic personality, increasing your brain power, and simply being happy no matter what. Now, plus on the live webinar, you'll also be gifted with a special attendee present that you can walk away with and start using immediately to boost your success. So remember, at the end of this brief presentation, make sure that you go ahead and register for one of the free limited spots available by selecting your most convenient date and time in the registration box to the side there. Now, back to those tips that I'm sharing today. Let me start by asking you a question. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to always have it easy in life? You know, they get the perfect job without even really looking for it, or they can make sales without even trying. You know, maybe they can attract an awesome mate despite being not a very nice person, or they can eat whatever they want without ever getting overweight. Now, if those kind of people bother you, you are not alone. They used to infuriate me as well, until I asked myself, why don't I see what they're doing differently so I can have the same benefits? Now, I'd been working so hard my whole life, I thought, well, I might as well try something new. And in fact, some of the most hard-working, talented and good-natured people I know can barely pay their rent or put food on the table. It almost seems like there's an invisible wall blocking them from really achieving their dreams. Have you ever felt like that? Now, a while ago, I'd been on the personal development path for too many years, and I had very little to show for it. At the age of 21, I first started getting books and courses and cassette tapes on how to improve my life. Now, while I got very good at taking massive action, my results weren't anything to brag about. I was a serial entrepreneur, often working 15 hours a day. While I didn't technically have a boss, I was anything but free. Now, I felt like an invisible barrier was holding me back from really achieving wealth and success, and I don't know, maybe you feel like this as well. Now, I was about 15 pounds overweight and I was anything but healthy. I was stressed and honestly, I just wanted to quit. Now, eventually I reached a point where I had to decide, am I going to accept that this is the best it's ever going to get? Or am I going to do something to get my life handled once and for all? Now, it was tempting just to give in and forget about my dreams and just live a life of mediocrity. What I really wanted was to travel the world, to work from the beach, or to not work at all if I didn't feel like it. But I was far from that type of lifestyle where that could happen for me. Now, I was working much harder than the average person with a day job without having the benefits of salary, vacation time, or even a free cup of coffee in the morning. It was the worst of both worlds, and I wanted out. But luckily, I was able to find some experts that helped me to see exactly what my invisible barrier was, and more importantly, guide me through it, dissolving it, so I could achieve my goals. I lost that 15 pounds, I paid off my debts, and I've actually travelled to more countries in 3 years than most people do their entire lives. Now, I never got to actually working from the beach, but I do love writing and making videos from my beautiful apartment overlooking the harbour in San Diego. Now, I'm a part owner of a multi-million-dollar company, and rather than work being a constant struggle for me, I truly love what I do. Now, I'm going to tell you how I did it. There is a concept that's constantly talked about in the self-development world, but it's almost always misunderstood. Now, this is the idea of a limiting belief. Now, if you're not familiar with the concept, a limiting belief for wealth might be that money is evil, or that there's never enough money. A limiting belief for health might be, I don't deserve to be thin, or it's really boring to eat healthy. A lot of well-meaning gurus try to help people change their limiting beliefs by using visualization and affirmations, which can make a difference, but they rarely work on their own. Now, there are some very important reasons for that will actually help with your survival. Now, between the ages of 0 and 6, and even before you're born, you are consuming millions of bits of information around you. You are brand new to this earth, and your top priority is to learn its rules, its ways, and its consequences for you to survive. So, for example, you learn about gravity right away, so you don't fall off a building, or, once you figure out that what goes up must come down, you don't question it. So when you're a small child, not only are you learning about the physical properties of the earth, you're also learning that how money works, how people should love each other, and who deserves what out of life. More importantly, you're learning your place in this earth and what should be expected from you and what you should expect. You're learning when you should feel bad and when you should feel good. Your parents may have done their best to teach you positive feelings about money and success, but chances are they made at least a few mistakes. Now, if your parents were not positive-minded or successful, they may have actually been incapable of giving you the proper belief system. Now, remember that they're operating from the programming that they picked up as children. And even if you did have the so-called perfect parents, there is still, what relatives and what neighbours say in your presence, as well as what you hear from TV and other people who are influencing your life, like teachers. So why did you drop those beliefs so easily as a baby? Well, it's more than just being young and impressionable as a child. It's because your brain is literally operating at a completely different frequency when you're young. Now, when you're an infant, your brain is mostly in delta brainwave state. Now, this is somewhat similar to what your brain is doing when you're in a deep, dreamless sleep. Now, you're in the most receptive state, and you literally have no filters on what goes into your subconscious mind. So whatever spoken beliefs are repeated the most in front of you, or with the most intensity, they're the ones that you will adopt permanently. Now, even when you're in the womb, you hear and you're perceptive to what's going on outside, and this is affecting you. So from the ages of 2 through to 6, your brain is mostly in theta brainwave state. Now, this is similar to what your brain is like in deep hypnosis or in dreaming. Buddhist monks also reach this state when they go into deep meditation. And in theta wave state, you are extremely open to suggestion. Now, as a 4-year-old, you can understand most of what's being said around you, even if you can't articulate it in your own speech. Now, with your brain in theta state, you'll be absorbing beliefs around you like a sponge, whether they're good or bad. Now, once you get past the age of 6, your mind mostly goes between alpha state, which is relaxed, and beta state, which is the more vigilant and active state. Now, these states are perfectly healthy and normal to be in, but the difference is that there is a barrier raised to new thoughts and beliefs at this point. Your subconscious mind has decided that by the age of 7, you know the basics of surviving on Earth, so it will be resistant to key changes past this point. Once you've proven that you can live with this mindset, your subconscious mind takes the attitude of, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and it cuts off further change. It doesn't even bother considering if you would be happier or wealthier with different beliefs or habits. From then on, its only goal is to keep you safe. The irony is that as an adult, and you now finally know what beliefs you should have, but you're almost completely unable to make any changes. Now, this is why many people have to do affirmations literally thousands of times to make any progress in changing how their mind works. Now, luckily, science has now found ways to get your brain back into theta state at will so that you can absorb the beliefs that you want and make a conscious effort in correcting and eliminating the beliefs that do not serve you. So if you want to install in your mind the belief of a six-figure earner or even a millionaire, you must first make your mind receptive to the suggestion. Now, it's the same if you want to have an amazing sexy body, or if you want a wonderful trip, or if you want an amazing relationship. This is why I've actually put together an hour-long life-changing webinar for you. Now, this webinar will show you how to reprogram your mind for success so it becomes second nature for you to think and act the way that healthy, wealthy, and happy people do for success. Now, the webinar is called Put Your Success on Autopilot, and it's designed to make this easy for you so you don't have to think too hard or push through tiring efforts to get what it is that you want. Remember that we modeled this success strategy after people who were easily getting what they want, so that we could cut out as much of the needless struggle as we could. So to reserve your spot, just select the best date and time in the box to the side there. Now, we won't be able to take walk-ins on these webinars, so make sure that you absolutely register right now. Now, this is also a free webinar, so there will be a lot of competition for the spots that we have available. When you reserve your place, we will email you a confirmation with your special $67 ebook gift on creating your future. Now, that includes expert lessons on setting goals, manifesting money, creating a magnetic personality, increasing your brain power, and becoming the happiest version of yourself. Plus, you'll also get access to your custom webinar workbook so that you can actually download and print it out prior to joining me live on the webinar. Now, this way you can follow along and take notes and then walk away with a complete blueprint for your future success. Now, between today and the webinar that you choose, please keep a lookout for my email updates, as I'll also be sending you some helpful information so that you can be prepared for everything that you'll learn. So if you're still with me right now, it's probably because you are tired of struggling so hard for just a modest income. You're tired of working hard to get into shape only to fall back behind, and you're tired of all the relationship difficulties that get in the way of enjoying life. I'm offering this webinar to you because I know what it's like to struggle, and believe me, there is a much easier way. So I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, and I'll see you on the webinar. Have a fabulous day.